Every single month, a muscle inside you clamps down so hard that it briefly chokes off its own blood supply, and that is the cramp that folds you in half. But the blood you can see is the least interesting part of this, because the real drama is an invisible chemical storm quietly rewiring your body from the inside. Stay with me, and you'll understand exactly what happens to your body when you're on your period, phase by phase, from day one all the way to the surprising reason it happens at all. Every week, we pull apart one thing your body does that nobody ever explained to you. So subscribe to Lumen Body so you never miss it, and drop a comment with the body mystery you want us to crack next. So let's begin on the morning everything changes, day 1, the first day of bleeding. For the 2 weeks before this, your body was quietly building something, a thick, blood-rich lining inside your uterus, like laying fresh, plush carpet in a nursery for a guest who might arrive. But when no pregnancy shows up, the two hormones holding that nursery together, estrogen and progesterone, suddenly fall off a cliff. Therefore, the lining loses its life support, and your body makes the ruthless decision to tear the whole nursery down and start over from scratch. That teardown is your period, and to run it, your uterus releases a flood of chemicals called prostaglandins. Think of prostaglandins as the demolition crew, because they order the muscular walls of your uterus to squeeze down hard and push the old lining out. But here is the cruel twist. Those same contractions can pinch shut the blood vessels feeding the uterus, briefly starving the muscle of oxygen. And oxygen-starved muscle screams. That is your cramp, the exact same kind of pain as a muscle straining without air, which is why it can radiate into your lower back and thighs. Over the next 3 to 7 days, you'll shed somewhere between 2 and 8 tablespoons of blood and tissue, far less than it feels like when you're living through it. But losing blood means losing iron. Therefore, many people feel drained, foggy, and cold in these days, running on a slightly emptied tank. Meanwhile, those crashed hormones aren't only working on your uterus, because estrogen also helps regulate serotonin, one of your brain's key mood chemicals. So when estrogen hits the floor, serotonin can dip right along with it, and suddenly you feel flat, irritable, or tearful for no reason you can actually point to. You might also step on the scale and panic, because progesterone's earlier rise told your body to cling to water, leaving you bloated and up a couple of pounds. But that weight is water, not fat. Therefore, it quietly disappears within a few days as your hormones reset. Your body didn't betray you, it's just holding a temporary tide. By around day 5 or 6, the bleeding tapers off, and this is exactly where the whole story flips. Because now your ovaries start pumping out estrogen again, and estrogen isn't a wrecker, it's a builder. It begins laying that lining right back down, recarpeting the nursery it just demolished, thicker and richer than before. And as estrogen climbs, so do you. Many people describe the week after their period as a window where they feel sharp, social and strong, like they could genuinely conquer the world. Hold on to that feeling, because in a moment I'll show you the single hour in your entire cycle when your body is at its absolute peak, and why that is no accident. Behind the scenes, one of your ovaries is now ripening a tiny egg inside a fluid-filled sac, getting it ready for the main event. Then, around day 14, estrogen spikes so high that it triggers a hormonal surge. The sac bursts and it releases that egg. This is ovulation. And this is the peak I promised you, because around ovulation, estrogen and testosterone are at their highest. So for a short window, you may feel your most energetic, confident, and drawn to other people. That is not random. Your body is literally tilting your mood and energy to make sure you don't sleep through your most fertile day. The egg is now swept into the fallopian tube, where it has only about 24 hours to meet sperm and be fertilized. But whether or not that happens, the emptied sac left behind transforms into a temporary gland that floods your body with progesterone. Progesterone is the caretaker. Its whole job is to keep that fresh lining plush and stocked, just in case a pregnancy needs somewhere to settle in. So for a week or so, this becomes the quiet hold your breath phase, your body waiting to find out if a guest is actually coming. But if no fertilized egg ever arrives, the caretaker gets its notice, progesterone and estrogen start to fall again, and this is where PMS lives. In the days before your next period, Those falling hormones can bring mood swings, sore breasts, cravings, anxiety, and a heaviness that feels far bigger than any single symptom. And this is the part almost nobody talks about honestly, because for many people, the mental toll is heavier than the cramps. It can feel like a fog rolling in, or a sadness with no cause. But if that is you, understand this. It is not weakness, and it is not in your head. It is a real chemical shift, as physical as a fever, and it does pass. Therefore, the most powerful thing you can do is learn your own pattern, because the moment you can name the day, you stop blaming yourself for the wave. Then the hormones hit the floor, the lining loses its support, and day one arrives all over again. The loop closes and the whole story restarts. Which brings us right back to the question I left you with at the very start. Why would a body build all of this, then destroy it, month after month, bleeding away precious blood and iron each time? Because here is what is genuinely wild: almost no animals on Earth do this. Most mammals just quietly reabsorb their lining. Humans are one of a tiny handful that actually bleed. And the leading explanation is stranger than you'd guess. A human embryo is unusually aggressive, burrowing deep into the uterus to tap directly into your bloodstream. Therefore, your body evolved to build a thick, fortified lining in advance, so it can control that invasion on its own terms and quietly screen out embryos that were never going to survive. But maintaining that fortress permanently would cost far too much energy. So instead, your body builds it fresh every cycle and clears it away whenever it isn't needed. So your period is not your body failing you, and it is not punishing you. It is the visible end of one of the most sophisticated preparation routines in all of biology, running on a monthly clock. Every cramp, every mood shift, every energy peak is a readout from that system, a monthly report on your hormones, your health, and your body. Which is exactly why doctors now call your cycle a fifth vital sign, because a sudden change in it can be the first quiet clue to stress, thyroid trouble, or other things worth checking. Once you stop fighting the wave and start reading it, the whole month changes. You know when to push and when to rest, and you stop apologizing for a body that is, frankly, extraordinary. So here is your one thing to do right now. Open your notes or a tracking app and mark today as a day in your cycle. Then jot down how you actually feel. Do that for 2 months and your own pattern will rise up out of the noise, and you will never be blindsided by day one again.